Including place-based and community knowledge in mapping projects is essential for producing data that reflects lived experiences, not just institutional or field-based observation. Local residents often hold expertise about seasonal patterns, species behavior, neighborhood histories, ecosystem changes, and social conditions that are not captured in formal data sets. When respectfully integrated, this knowledge expands both the accuracy and relevance of spatial analysis, therefore building maps that reflect the realities of the people most connected to the land, rather than only the perspectives of outside researchers, agencies, or organizations. Centering local knowledge also helps correct longstanding gaps in environmental and spatial data. Traditional field surveys are limited by time, access, staffing, and institutional bias, which can result in data sets that privilege already well-resourced areas while overlooking communities historically excluded from research, policy, and investment. Engaging community members as co-researchers rather than passive data sources helps create more complete and representative maps, reduce bias, and strengthen shared ownership of the final product. Ethical mapping requires more than data collection. It demands relational accountability. Community participation should be informed, voluntary, and meaningful, with clarity about how data will be stored, used, and shared. That includes honoring community authority over sensitive cultural or ecological locations and ensuring that mapped information does not expose sacred sites, endangered species, or communities to risk. Without these safeguards, maps can unintentionally enable land grabs, policing, displacement, or extractive research practices, especially for Indigenous, rural, and historically marginalized communities. Because maps influence decisions about land use, conservation, infrastructure, and public resources, it's critical that they do not reproduce deficit narratives about communities or place blame on people rather than systems. Environmental inequities should be communicated within the context of policies, planning decisions, and historical disinvestment, and not framed as a result of individual community shortcomings. This approach reflects racial equity standards drawn from organizations such as Race Forward, Equity-Centered GIS Practice, and Indigenous data governance models. Equitable mapping practices include transparency about project intent, data purpose, sharing agreements, and limitations. Communities should shape not only the data they contribute, but also survey questions, meanings of mapped results, and how final output are communicated. The goal is not just engagement, but shared interpretation and shared benefit. Maps and dashboards should reflect the language, values, priorities, and narrative power of the communities they represent. When local knowledge, scientific data, and community authority are woven together, mapping becomes a tool for collective decision-making rather than extraction. This strengthens trust, improves environmental and planning outcomes, and helps ensure that geospatial work supports both ecological sustainability and social equity.